Hey everyone, so we got the dump. Now, the question a lot of people have is it over? And the question that I will answer in this video will tell you if it is or not. But if you've been following my past videos, you know that this is probably not the end. We're also going to look at some other projects and how to start scoping out what projects you like and what to do to look for potential entries on those when we finish our dump. So when I was a teacher, we always used to say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. This is what I do. I make plans, and today we're going to look at some of the plans that you can set yourself up on and how to do that and where you should be looking potentially on some coins that I'm going to go over and other ones that you can do over by yourself. Before we get really into it, can you guys do me a favor? I don't ask for much, but this is what I will ask for. Can you like and subscribe this video? Leave a comment if you did benefit from shorting or getting out of the market. I want to know, just because I'll be very happy for you. Unlike some people in this space that love being trolls, and my name is Joel, it rhymes with troll, but I'm no one. I really do love hearing the success stories of other people, so do throw those down in the comments. Well, it's pretty clear to me to see where we're going right here. We had the fake out. Maybe some people would call this a dead cat bounce. Maybe they would call it, an ascending triangle. Maybe they'll call it a lot of things. The point is that for me, this was always a fake out or a relief rally. Some people call them one or the others. To me, it's all one and the same because I'm a macro trader anyways, and this was not very long. It was over 2 weeks. So we see this happen. We finally got the dump. Now, what the question was, where do we go next? Well, we're holding this 100-day EMA. If we lose the 100-day EMA, we're likely going to go to the 200-day EMA, which is at 9,800. And I'm still really confident in the fact that we very likely will come down to levels at the 93.40, the 9,025, 9,050, and that 8,800 level. We're definitely going to probably at some point visit those levels. Will it happen right away? That I can't tell you. The timing part of trading is not why people do well most of the time. It comes down to level by level and a macro outlook where the market might go. So I think we're going to have another dump. That was just a small one, 7% dump. Today could be a green day. Maybe tap this 21-day EMA, add to my short, probably up somewhere up in this level if we get there, and then we'll continue on our path down. So watch that for Bitcoin. We look at other areas like Bitcoin on the CME. I told you guys that we could not close really clearly above this 21-day EMA or this Tenkan. We kept holding it as resistance. It made a 3 inside down, right? Like just barely made a 3 inside down here, and then we broke down below. Now we have a bearish Chiku span. We have a potential bearish TK cross that could happen on the CME, and there's a long way down if it goes into this cloud, back down to 84, which is a level that I've been talking about as well. So that's something very possible. Then we look at Bitcoin dominance. It came up and tapped this level. This level was like we broke below the alt season level. Now we're coming up and we're retesting it. Where will we go next? A good question. We have to see. It does look like the Kijin's bamming down a little bit, and we have this 21-day EMA kind of hooking up. So we also see the volume for it for Bitcoin dominance has gone up. So alts, that's why they've been getting wrecked. And Bitcoin obviously going down in value causes alts to also have a similar effect, more so than we've seen this last month and a half to 2 months. Now we look at the total market caps to see where is the market going. So the market held for a 5th time this 100-day EMA for the whole entire market cap. We're holding it so far. Will we dump it? Probably. We did break into the cloud. We do have a bearish TK cross. We do have a bearish Chiku span. So it could definitely complete this edge to edge, and it could go all the way down to the 200-day EMA. So keep your eyes on those levels. And then when we look at alts, very similar types of stuff we're seeing in the market for alts, but they haven't had their bearish TK cross. That will likely happen tomorrow. Now, here's what I think of when I see blood when I'm prepared. Here's what I think of when I see blood and I'm not prepared and I don't short because I'm scared to short because I'm worried I might make a mistake.
Sweetheart, look at me. Oh, no! Jesus Christ!
So the question is, can you be a Chad or are you going to be a pleb? A pleb is scared to do everything. Use risk management and you will never be scared of anything. Remember that. And we look at gold. Gold also broke down finally this level, which we've been talking about several times. And now we're starting to go towards these levels lower. And I think we come down to this 1841, even potentially to 1820. We could see these levels revisited for sure. So watch those levels, see how we go. We're below the Kijun. We have a bearish TK cross coming up in a few days. We have a Chiku span that's going bearish. So this could do what we call an edge to edge trade. And how those trades look are very simple. They go from one edge of the cloud to the other edge of the cloud. So we would see around 1760. So watch for those levels as well. Why are we watching these levels? Well, our DXY is very bullish all of a sudden, but not really all of a sudden. We saw that, and I talked about the higher high here. So we came back down, we retested the Tenkin, and look, we've come back up. DXY stays strong, everything else goes down in value, including crypto. Doesn't matter. So our stock market, we see that it's been dumping pretty hard. It did bounce off this level over here, but I still think we're going to come down to the 618 and then probably at this 100-day EMA. You see there's a very similar thing that happens with a lot of the trades that I do. It doesn't matter if we're talking about stocks or crypto or anything. It seems to always flow. Now, I haven't changed my settings for regular traditional markets for the S&P 500 index. So they'll be a little bit different if you're using the regular Ichimoku, but it still gives me a clear picture. And that's why I have mostly levels and, fibs on as well. So I do use several strategies for different markets, but mainly I'm using levels. I'm using price action. Then I'm using Ichimoku and EMAs and things like that. But those are for confluence. Okay. Confluence means they give me like another thumbs up. This is the right choice. Okay, the DJI did exactly what I've been saying since all the way up here. We'll likely come back down to this level, the Kijun, and we bounced the Kijun so far. Let's see how it reacts today. I think we could have a green Tuesday, but that won't indicate that we're safe or anything along those lines either. So just keep that in mind. Oil also had a down day. So we've seen a lot of down and a lot of people going into dollars as we've seen basically from this point all the way to here. So the markets are scared. That's what it means. When the markets are scared, I'm generally like this. Smiling all day and all night. Because you can make money on both sides of this market. Okay, YFI. Everyone asks me like, okay, coach, but where is the bottom for YFI? Maybe this was a short-term bottom here. A local bottom right there. But I would say that, we're looking and scouting now for trades, right? We're looking and trying to find where do I find a trade for YFI? How do I know? So I can just go here and I can start drawing levels of support, right? And levels of resistance and just kind of get an idea of where, if this comes down, where might it come down to? So we can look and find certain levels and just kind of put them on our charts and look for these levels to kind of test. And if we get to those levels specifically, then we know that they will probably come there and either test or retest or so on and so forth. Now we're below the 200-day EMA right here, okay? But this is on the 4-hour. Obviously, we don't have enough chart to tell for YFI. So we're looking at the 4-hour, trying to get an idea of where this could come to. So come definitely to this $20,000, $21,000 level. And then we could see, it's very possible we come down to this level at around 19,400. Okay, like right there. And so we're looking for those two levels first. And if we lose those levels, likely we'll come down to this 17,000. So we're looking for those. We're not trading them yet. We're looking for how the market reacts when Bitcoin goes down further, which it will. It will. Be sure of that. Vladimir says, if you don't do it, you're going to hate yourself because you're going to always try to jump in too quickly. Don't jump in too quickly, okay? Don't jump in quickly. Take your time. Do it right. Get it out. Make money. Let's do this thing together. Now, we're looking at all these different pairs. We're looking at TRB. I am looking at this to pick it up soon because on the chart, it really has no bottom. Yes, it's been as low as $3 before, $2 before. So I already picked up a little bit at $20 yesterday, $21 exactly. And if it drops down lower, I'll buy more. But now it doesn't have really a lower low. We have to go on to different charts like on IDEX to see where it went down to and what we could see it as a level for confluence of a bounce. But we've seen this one come down, and I look at this, and that's how I judge which ones I should be going to. This one's come down like 78% at the bottom. That tells me that, you know, it's a pretty good chance that it's going to go back up. You know, like it's a good project. So we see something like a massive dump like that on some projects, and we look at those to scope entries. So I'm looking for more entries. If it goes lower, I will definitely look to get in on those. And next up, we have DOT. So DOT also, we've seen the levels from before. We could look to see if we're going to come down to the 618, which would coincide really nicely at 35,500 sats. So I'll be looking at that area to see how it bounces off here. And if we break down that level, we'll look down to around this level at 32,300. So those will be areas that you're looking at getting in, and you can even do things like this, where you go, okay, if it gets down to here, it will bounce, so we'll leave that there. And I think we're going to come all the way at least to this level. So it's a 3.6 hour trade. We're good. We have a 13% loss if we stop out, but we do our risk with our risk management calculator. You can get in Coach's Corner for free, and then you can just do all this very simply and easily on there and know how much money you should put into that trade based off of your capital. So moving on, Neo is another one I'm looking at because Flamingo, it's had a really big dump. Will it continue to dump? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It did kind of play out into this move, but what happened was Bitcoin dumped. So everything dumps with Bitcoin. It always has and always will until it doesn't. So that's pretty much all we have to look at. We got sharing still. It's held up really, really nicely in the dump. Hasn't really dumped. Remember, this is just a one order like this one at they put down way down here. So there was like 2 or 3 literally one token orders. I don't know how they let them do these things, but it is what it is. So that pushes down the price, and we could see that, but sharing really doesn't have a lot of sellers on the chart. If we go in here and we look, there's very few sellers. I mean, all the way up to 5 cents even, there's only 600,000 sharing, which is like not a lot. Trust me. Okay, so that is something we look at. And then when we look at token metrics, like I keep talking about, look what happened, right? So yeah, it saw it was going to go up. It did go up, but right here, we're pretty much at parity right this second. And, you know, now we could see this descent, and it's showing a more clear bottom around 88, which is really what I've been talking about for a while, and then us to start moving back up in October. So let's watch and see how that changes as well. And if you don't know where to get token metrics, just go down in the link below, click on it, and you can learn all about how easy it makes trading for non-traders especially, and how it's great for traders to get confluence because of the many data points that are there. And I'm not going to go any more into that. We look at meme from yesterday, and just to give you guys a 4-hour perspective on how much this actually pumped since yesterday's video, we were talking about it at 1200 yesterday. Well, that dumped with Bitcoin's dump, and yeah, basically it's gone up another 50-60% and hit over $2,000.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
This is a meme coin with memes and NFTs. And I'm going to probably be doing a live AMA on Zoom with Jordan, the creator of meme coin. So that's coming up soon. They hit me up because they thought that it's pretty cool that I was doing a video. If you guys think it's cool, let me know what you think. Leave some questions and comments down below. That's basically it for today. We got a really basic, straight up TA video. No more projects that we're looking at yet. But there's one that I want to make a shout out for. All right, so quick shout out to xBTC. I did go into the private sale of this one. Just want to know that it's coming out in 2 days on September 24th. Watch for this one coming. It's quite an interesting concept, which is kind of like an S&P 500 index fund. You're going with Bitcoin dominance against all the other altcoins in the market. It does have rebasing as well, which is quite a cool concept because they're rebasing with the whole entire Bitcoin dominance scale versus the price. And maybe this will be a better way than Ample Rumple and all the other copies of Ample have been doing, because we've seen that they do have great run-ups and then great dumps because they're basically linked to price, whereas this is linked to dominance, which is a lot bigger scale and could be very interesting. Their tokenomics are quite decent, as well as their team and their advisors. And they do have some pretty nice backers like 1inch Exchange, like Teller, like Unification, and some others as well in there. So keep your eyes on xBTC. 2 days it will be coming out. So just wanted to make that known so that everyone could have a look before it does and see if this is something interesting for you. You can go to their website, xbtc.fi. I will leave links in the description for all you guys that are wanting to look into it more. So 2 days that comes out. All right, so now what you got to do, guys, is watch for Bitcoin to see where it goes. Start looking and scouting out some of the coins. Try to find some of those lower levels on them and look for potential price action and wait for be patient for those levels to come down and hit. And if we do have a full-on reversal and you start seeing it happen and I start saying, hey, we're getting more bullish, then you could look at. But if you're going into a coin right now, it will be for a scalp, it will be for a very short-term trade, and mostly on a relief rally because of the dump yesterday. So watch for that. Other than that, xBTC on Thursday, cool project, give it a look. And tomorrow's video, I'll be talking about what to do with your old bags from 2017-18 and what you might want to think about doing, because there's things that I have done personally that I'm going to tell you what I've done with my old bags. You may be surprised with some of the things that I tell you tomorrow. So don't miss tomorrow's video and smash on that bell so you don't miss it, because that one's going to be different than the normal talking about the markets only. We're actually going to do a 5 to 10 minute deep dive tomorrow on what do you do with your old Neo, your old Litecoins. What should you do with them? Should you hold them? Should you not? What should you do with those projects? Should you go into those projects now, or should you look at something new and shiny that might have a really good potential to grow because it hasn't gone through a bull cycle? That's the question we're going to answer tomorrow, so don't miss it. Thank you all. I love you guys. You're the best. This is the reason why I do what I do. Leave comments. Like this video. Subscribe. I do this for you. That's all you got to do for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Fat kiddo. Fat kiddo.